Guys, this is Mubin. We are talking about cardiovascular system general principles. The lecture today is pulmonary circuit or the pulmonary vasculature. So let's start. First of all, the reservoir function of the pulmonary vessels. So normally, you look the stroke volume as the heart is pumping, blood is coming into the lungs and is then pumped out of the lungs. It goes from the right heart to the lungs, from the lungs to the left heart, from the left heart to the body, systemic tissue. However, lungs contain about 500 milliliters of blood all the time as a reservoir function. So this blood is just sitting in there. And if a person becomes supine, if a person lies down, then even more blood gravitates to the lungs, because right now, if I'm standing, most of the blood has gravitated towards the lower limb. If I become horizontal, if I become supine, if I lie down, then that blood that was in my lower limbs will come back towards the heart. And what happens is, in that case, about another 500 milliliters of blood can come into the heart, into the lungs. Now, when the person stands up, if a person who is lying down, now he's gotten 1000 milliliters, when he stands up, that extra 500 milliliters that came into the lungs will become redistributed towards the systemic tissue. So that is the reservoir function of the lungs vasculature, not the lung itself. You can't have blood inside the lung alveoli. That would be a problem. This is the blood present in the pulmonary vessels, that is arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules, veins, and so on. Now the second thing, divisions of the lung vasculature. So this is very different from the systemic vasculature. In the systemic arteries, as the arteries are passing through the body, they are giving off branches, and the branches are further giving off branches, and then they become capillaries. So we have aorta, then we have systemic arteries, then we have arterioles, and finally capillaries. However, an interesting thing in the pulmonary vasculature, which I'll draw here, is that let's look at the airway first. Airway has this quality that as it goes into the lungs, the airway starts dividing in a binary way. Binary means in a fashion of two. Bi means two. So as the airway divides in binary, that means every branch gives two branches. So is the vessels divide as well. So arteries would follow the same pattern. This does not happen in the systemic circulation. So the artery that comes in here, let's say pulmonary artery, will also give two branches. Then these two branches would give two branches again, binary, and then that would give two branches, and this would give two branches, and this would give two branches, and so on. So the vessels, pulmonary vessels, exhibit same pattern of division as airways. And of course, that means that veins will collect blood in the same way that binary blood vessels, they would combine binary branches, and then they would make one large vessel, pulmonary vein. So please remember that the pattern of division of the pulmonary vasculature is the same as the airways, and that is binary division. Now, an interesting function. So remember, pulmonary vessels or pulmonary circulation provides a primary function of aerating the blood, or oxygenation of the blood, or gaseous exchange of the blood. However, there are some secondary functions that these blood vessels do. And you should know that many of you actually already know the secondary function here. What is very important is filtration. That the pulmonary vascular bed act as a filter for the blood from the right side towards the left side. What does that mean? What that means is this, that the right side is the venous blood. So when the venous blood comes back into the right heart, and from there it is going to go to the left heart, and from the left heart it would go to the body or the systemic tissues. Before that, this pulmonary vasculature here, this vasculature acts as a filter. Now, many students take it wrong and they say that, yeah, capillaries are filters. So if this is a capillary, they feel that capillaries have gotten filtration slits, if you will, or filtration areas, because there are gap junctions between the capillary cells, and that is where the filtration is. I think that is not the thing. That is for the nutritional and gaseous exchanges. That is not what we're talking about. We are talking about blood vessels. So think about it here. Let's say the right heart here, this was the right ventricle, this was the atria. So let's say right ventricle introduced an embolus or a thrombus. A thrombus is a blood clot, and embolus is a gaseous clot or a fatty clot. So it introduced some foreign particle or something that can obstruct the blood vessels. Now what's going to happen is pulmonary artery will bring that little clot. So let's say it is here. This is a thrombus. Let's make it red. So this red thrombus will come into the pulmonary vasculature. There it would continue going into the blood vessels, pulmonary vessels, till it reaches a blood vessel which has a diameter that it cannot go any further. That is where it would get lodged and stuck. So now what is happening is, if you think about it for a second, if you take a sponge and you put water on it, you pour water on it, and that water, so if you take a sponge here, so let's say this is a sponge, and you pour water on this sponge, and let's say there are some things in the water, there are straws and little pebbles and dirt. What will happen is most of that will get stuck here, and then relatively cleaner water will come out. That is exactly how you should think about the lungs. Imagine that lung vasculature is a big sponge. As the blood passes through it, all the emboli and the thrombi get stuck, and the cleaner blood comes out from the pulmonary vein to the left heart, and from there to the body. So now the question is, what happens to those thrombi and emboli? So let's make an embolus here as well. So again, thrombus, blood clot, embolus, made up of gaseous or fatty material. Now let's bring that brings us to this thing, metabolic function. Lungs, blood vessels perform a lots of metabolic functions as well. It is not only for the gaseous exchange. It is not only acting as a mechanical barrier for filtration. In fact, it also does some chemical functions as well. So what are those functions? There are many. I'm just going to take care of two big ones that you would have. You'll need them from clinical point of view and USMLE point of view. One is that in here sits, so this is a small enzyme with big teeth here. This enzyme is fibrinolytic enzyme. So on the endothelium of the blood vessels are stuck some fibrinolytic enzymes. What do? They break down these thrombi and emboli. That is their function. They cause lysis of fibrin and they break up the clots. So that is where we manage these clots. They come, get stuck in the pulmonary vasculature, and then the endothelium has enzymes which clear them out. The other thing that is really important to keep in mind is the ACE enzyme. ACE enzyme. Angiotensin converting enzyme. Now this enzyme is actually present on the endothelium, and it is present on the endothelium of all the blood vessels. It is present on the endothelium of all the blood vessels, and it is also present in the plasma. However, the density of this enzyme is much greater in the endothelium of the pulmonary vasculature. So what happens is that even with 1% flow of blood through the vasculature of the pulmonary system, 70% of angiotensin 1 is converted to angiotensin 2 or is activated by the ACE here within the pulmonary vasculature. So these two are very important metabolic functions to keep in mind. So thank you very much.